It's time for Top That Trade. Joining us today to go a few rounds in the ring, Phil Flynn, a Fox Business Network contributor, and Alan Nuckman, an options trading trainer. Here we go, guys, with round number one. Merger mania. Big deals are happening everywhere. Is that bullish or bearish for the stock market?
Well, some people look at this as a negative sign. Sometimes when these mergers happen, it's market top.
Right.
But we've seen $105 billion in October, so that was a record. I think it's because people are looking for growth, and the way to get growth now is to buy it. And these companies have a lot on their balance sheets as far as extra cash.
Well, they have a lot of cash because their stock prices have been going up, and they really haven't been doing all that great.
AT&T,
yeah, well,
GE. I mean, these are big companies that have money.
Companies, they have money, and they're looking to move because really their core businesses haven't been performing, but they still have a lot of cash because cash is cheap. So yeah, you're going to go in the merger market.
Two targets. Twitter. All right.
Okay.
Twitter. Trading at 17, that's a halfway point of where we've been trading sideways since January, between 14 and 20 or so. Yeah, it did rally on the speculation. I think someone's going to come and find this gem and polish it up a little bit. And the other one I like is Whole Foods. Whole Foods is down here around $28. I think it could be a takeover as well. It's at a big discount, and you don't get any discounts at Whole Foods.
Well, I think in the energy sector, you're already seeing the mega merger with GE. I think Halliburton's going to be shopping around. They want to stay in the ball game as one of the biggest pipeline service companies, the oil service companies are out there. And I will say one thing about energies. Traditionally, when we see energy mergers in that sector, that's traditionally the bottom of prices. You know, I go back to ExxonMobil, in the last decade when they merged together, they did it because they were at a point of pain and they were losing money, but that turned out to be the bottom of the market.
So it was Wonder Twin Powers.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
And here we go with round number two, golden gains. Gold reached above $1,300 per ounce this week. So what do you make of the gold go-go?
All the gold's in California in somebody else's name. No, gold is breaking out. It's back above $1,300 an ounce. And there was a lot of naysayers. I'm going to say, you don't want to be long gold because the Fed's going to raise interest rates and the dollar is going to be strong. Or you don't want to buy gold because Hillary Clinton might be president and she might confiscate it. All this fear stuff.
That's a stretch. Okay.
All right, it's a stretch. But
that's the reason it went down to $1,250.
Well, there's fear in the market. That's the reason it went down to
$1,250.
Yeah.
So they traded between $1,240 and $1,270 for more than a month.
It did.
So that's a $30 range.
Yeah.
$30 on top of $1,270, that targeted $1,300. Now, if it can stay above $1,300 on a weekly basis, then it can get legs again. The dollar made a key reversal here about a week and a half ago. So that is very, very positive.
Well, and the other thing is we had that big news about the Brexit. It might not be as simple as we thought. That UK court basically said it has to go through Parliament.
It's going to drag out.
Done deal.
It's going to drag out.
And that's bullish for gold because the Brexit initially was bearish for gold because
there's a 70% chance that there will be a rate hike in December. So that looks like it's priced in, and that's why the dollar had rallied so much. So now it can relax. And if it can relax, then I think gold can make another push.
And you can always depend on the Fed to raise rates when they say they're going. Oh, never mind. I take that back.
Oh, boy. Round number three. Here we go. Pundit picks. A proven prognosticator predicts Trump as the winner of the presidential election. So what does this mean for the stock market?
I hope you don't want me to say proven prognosticator 3 times in a row. Proven prognosticator. I mean, that would be very difficult.
This guy's been right.
He has been right, and I'm telling you. And there's more. There was another professor that said based on where we're at, but the movement in the stock market, so that has been a reliable indicator. If you look at Jimmy Carter over Reagan, we had that big comeback. It's because the stock market was doing poorly. You look at history, people vote their pocketbooks.
So looking at it from July 31st to October 31st, if the market's up or down. So it depends on who the incumbent is. 86% of the time, that's been a predictor. All right. Anything can happen. And we know that for good reason here in Chicago.
Right.
Anything can happen.
What happened? Anything?
The Cubs won the World Series.
Oh my gosh!
So enough of it has nothing to do with Brexit.
Right.
But anything can happen. But right now, I think the markets are at a little bit of a discount because the possibility is there. It's not a high probability, but it's a possibility. But typically, issues are not binary. It's more important to see how the market's going to react than a yes or no or someone's going to get elected or someone's not going to get elected. But this is a very, very unique situation.
Well, it is a unique situation, and we definitely have seen the polls for Donald Trump come up a lot. The knock against him winning the election is that
the knock. Clinton, there's one.
Well, I'm just saying from the poll standpoint is that Hillary Clinton has a heck of a ground game. But let's face it, there is a lot more coming out. On the Clinton Foundation, a possible indictment coming down on that.
What are you, Breitbart?
It's been reported. It's been reported.
It must be true. All right, it must be true.
I'm telling you. But
Regardless,
the odds of that.
regardless, the question is, how is the market going to react?
And the market, the expectation is the Trump presidency, the market crashes. But I don't buy that. If it does, it's going to be the buying opportunity of the year, because you know what? I mean, he's talking about lower corporate tax rates. He's talking about basically stock-heavy things.
He's talking about a trade war.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's called negotiations.
But anyways,
you should try it sometime.
The lesson to be learned is the market doesn't care if you're Republican or Democrat. All right?
Okay.
The market's going to do what the market's going to do. And I like the fact that earnings have turned the corner,
So
and we
you're
may
saying-
be positive earnings for this quarter. I remain optimistic regardless of
Whoever
possibility.
Wins, whoever wins, and even if the Cubs can win the World Series, that's a sign of the
anything can
end.
happen.
But
And that's
I'll tell you,
optimism. That's optimism right there.
It is. He's believed for 108 years.
That's
he was
optimism.
at the
I
last
was
World
there.
Series.
I was there.
But I will say this: he's right about one thing, and that is the stock market doesn't care. If you do indeed get a Hillary Clinton president and a rally, you sell into it. You know what? You do. Absolutely. You fade the rally, fade the news.
Just like the rally you've been
if
fading.
you get a break by Donald Trump, then you fade the rally, you buy it, because you're right. Ultimately, it's not going to matter for the price of stocks over the long run. So if you get a Hillary bump or a Trump dump, fade it.
Trump dump. There you go. Phil Flynn came up with it.
You guys are terrific today. Let's move on to your bonus round question. You are going to love this. You're always terrific. The Chicago Cubs can finally put to rest that Billy Goat curse. So, name the U.S. president who was an actual goat herder. Was it Lyndon B. Johnson, Abe Lincoln, or George Washington?
I am going to say, read that again. It was Abe
Lincoln,
no.
George Washington.
George Washington, no.
Or the other.
Lyndon Johnson. I say Lyndon Baines Johnson.
That's that Texan
Alan?
guy?
Yeah, that's a big hat.
Nah, he
Big-
doesn't
big
seem
boss.
goats. He seems more, goats seem too little for his
I don't
stature.
know. He had a big ranch down in Texas.
Yeah, but goats don't seem like
Bunch
his
of yellow
thing.
roses around
Doesn't
there.
seem like his thing. Jeez. I'm going to say George Washington.
The answer is Johnson.
I got it. Thank you.
At 9 years old, he worked on his uncle's farm. He was a goat
That's
herder.
right, exactly. All right, there you go.
Very good,
And when I
Bill.
win, it really gets his goat. It's terrible.
It does.
Anyway.
We'll leave on that note. Thank you so much. Business First AM continues right after this.